Okay, so I've got the other intake in now. They're both glued in. Like I said, I painted it all for ease, so you can see I've painted in there. I will mask off the plate on the intakes, but as for that I'll just leave it because it's going to be the same colour. Now a minute. I've made up the stabilisers, so it's a single piece and you put in 2 inserts. Now just make sure that you use the right call out because there's 2 stabilizer sections in the kit. So like as mentioned, there's other variants coming in 1 year. The difference is the I don't know the wording for it. It's like if it's something to do with the vortex it creates or something. This one's just a smooth surface. This one's got that lip on it. I did a quick check to make sure, well, what I'm doing off the F-4B sheet, I think it's correct. I had tried to look at images, but it's too hard to see if it's that one or the other one. Tamiya call out for this one on there, F-4B, so I assumed that is correct. I've also started making up, so I got this section which will plug in to the hang on, that way, like so, and it'll be movable if you so desire, you want to move it. Along the way they give you their call outs for these parts. I'll be painting it my own way, the metal section of it. I'm not going to show you all of it, but I'm going to use AK Extreme Metals and probably Gun's Buffable Metallizer colour. If you want to see how I do it, please have a look at my Mang F-4E Phantom build. I showed in detail how I paint the metal of the Phantom around the engines, and also using the blue and purple heat tints. So that was pretty simple. This is about, what was there, 5 parts, and you put in some poly caps, which was keeping that as a movable part. Engine nozzles, so I've made one up, and this is the one I've got to glue together. So you got the can section, and then you got 6 petals that go in. You just need to be aware how they just butt up against each other, but when you put them in, you need to put them in. Tamiya have given you an image of how to align the first one. There's slots inside there. You just need to line it up with their image, and then you just go around and put them in and glue it in. So I'm going to do that. I don't like Tamiya show you to paint it as you're going along, or just giving you the call outs. I'll put it all together then paint it. I prefer doing things that way because I don't like painting up parts and then gluing together, because knowing myself, when I glue it I'll get a run or something and then ruin the paint, and then I got to patch it up anyway. So it's just more simple for me just to do it in position. Once I glue all that on, I still got to do the arrestor hook. Then we're starting to get into the landing gear doors. So these I'll prepare them all and all the actuators off the kit, and I'll just paint them up that they go on at the end of the build. As I'm doing out of box, I'm using the kit wheels, so I have to glue those halves and clean up the seam line. And you're getting into putting the nose on with the sensor underneath, and then we'll be into the wing stage, but let's not get too far ahead. I'm in the process of putting the plate under the nose. I'm doing it in sections. I found it wasn't just a sweet fit, so just to get it all aligned, I'm gluing it in sections. And this bit, I just clamped it to hold there because this side fit alright when I glued it. This side wanted to pop out, so I'm just doing that slowly. I'm going to indulge myself on this build and do Phantom wings folded up. I've never done a Phantom with the wings folded up before, and to be honest, I can't remember a kit I've done that was an option. I've built a heap over the years, but that's so many builds in between, I can't remember if you can have the option on anything. So that's the tips done, and I mentioned about painting everything in place. This is something that I'll paint off just for ease, because you're getting right angles makes it a bit more difficult when you're airbrushing, especially in the corners of a right angle. You start getting the vortex spray happening and orange peel and whatnot, plus doing the decals, and that'll be easier. The reason I mentioned I have to glue it in is because it's just like it's not a slot in that the part won't be seen. Everything will be seen on there. You just plug it on there like that. I thought it might have been an insert fit. The wing's probably not thick enough for that. So they're together, and the good thing about it is they've designed it that it's natural panel line, so there's nothing to clean up. I've cut the nose off the sprue and glued the sensor together. It's two halves. Unfortunately, Tamiya can't come up with a way of getting rid of seam lines. Take note, because I'm doing an aftermarket decal scheme, there's two sensors in the kit, and go back, where was it? Keep going. Here we go. So that this one, the top one, the other one's got more to it. So I looked at the scheme I'm doing on the furball sheet. I need this one, so I'm not gluing it in yet because I got to clean up that seam line, but I have checked it fits no problem. What I wanted to show is I'm starting to put the vertical stabilizer together. So we've got several parts to it. I'm not sure why, but so we got the left and right section. You have to cut, so that was on there. You have to cut that off. They show it there. Otherwise, you got two pieces with the same or similar parts. I'm guessing that's for a different variant that'll come down the line. So that's off. Just use the razor saw to cut it off, and so that'll fit in. And then you got the leading edge is two pieces. Like so, and then I'm going to put the piece on top, which I've not got off the sprue yet. I just wanted to show how you need to cut off a section. That's all glued in now, so it's all flush, so thankfully it all went in well. Put the tail stabilizers in, and you can see that's the movement you can have if you want to, however you want to display it. It's not something I do, but it's what the option is. There was two, so when you sit the tail plate in and holds the stabilizer in, there's two inserted pieces. That these pieces here are the ones that plug in to the poly cap, and this is what, so you don't glue them. Otherwise, if you glue them, you won't be able to move the tail, the stabilizers. I've glued the top piece on the vertical stabilizer. The good thing is, in a lot of areas, Tamiya have thought about panel lines, so when we put this on, that'll cover up that seam line, so I don't need to take care of that. There is some though that you can't avoid, so there's one here I need to clean up, and this bottom section I put in most of the way, it's a natural panel line, but from there forward that will need to be taken care of. Same on the other side. So it's, how they've done it is pretty good. It's minimised, and that seam line I have to take care of. And that one there, I think I mentioned earlier on, there's a bit there that needs to be cleaned up because that's not a natural panel line. There's just a lot of detail around there. What I'll do is put Tamiya tape around that area when I clean it up, so I'm not taking out the rivet detail. And the rear there, that piece is seam line that needs to be taken care of. So that will be probably my next step. I did a dry fit on the nose, it just plugs on. I've got to put a piece in there yet, a panel. So making progress. That's probably just about me done for my session today, because we're having an extremely hot spell at the moment. So I'm up in the high 30s and my room is not air conditioned.